Watch Who?
Hello, and welcome to the To Watch Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to Who.
Yep, watching for the very first time, as we say. And we're currently halfway through an epic adventure of the Daleks' master plan.
Yeah.
So we did episodes 1 to 4 last week. So if you haven't heard that, maybe go back and listen to that episode first. So today we're doing episodes 5 to 8.
Lucky us.
And I'm glad that we've split this into 3, because watching all of the 12 in one go, or even attempting to do that, it's tough already.
I told you before we even started, you were like, we'll do 6 and 6. No. I shot that down straight away. No. So yes, I'm glad too, but it was never going to happen. I refused from the start. So yeah.
So we had there's a lot to talk about in this story.
There is. A lot happened.
There's a lot going on. So I've got a few things from last week. Right, so the delegates. Let's start with the delegate talk.
Yeah.
So I've looked up what they are all called, all their names.
All right, okay.
I think we were pretty much right last week, the ones we said.
Okay.
So I did a bit of Googling, and actually there is a really good website that I want to recommend called delegatedetective.wordpress.com. Right, and it's dedicated to the Daleks Master Plan and a lot of the missing episodes. There's a lot. I'm not going to get into it now, but there's a lot of detail and sort of research because of these missing episodes. And I think the actors that played the delegates in Mission to the Unknown were some of the different actors that play the delegates later on. And I think even in the Daleks Master Plan, like from episodes like 2 to later on, some of the actors changed. So it's a great website. It's by Jack Rayner, who's actually a Doctor Who writer. She's done some books and audio things. She's a really good writer. She's one of my favourite writers. But I think she's like obsessed with the Dalek. Well, of Doctor Who writers. I only know her Doctor Who stuff. But I was Googling, I found that website. If you want to know about the delegates and the Daleks Master Plan, that is the website. So from this website, I have established. So Zephon, he's the Weed Hands.
Yeah.
And he got shot last time, didn't he? He got killed.
Yeah.
Trantis is Dick Face.
Willy Face Man.
Willy Face. Are we Willy?
I called him
Finger
Willy.
or Dick?
I called him Willy Face Man. You were Finger Man.
Okay. Willy, that's Trantis. So we got his name right last time.
Yeah.
Then we've got Malfa, who's the sort of crazy paving face. He had the lines in Mission to the Unknown with the sort of, he's bold with like sections on his face. And he wasn't, do you remember him?
Call him Crater Man.
He was the one that talked in Mission to the Unknown. He was the one that was like, we're going to go for the Earth. That was him.
Okay.
That was Malfa.
Crater Man?
Crater Man, okay.
Okay.
It's sort of like sections, like weird shapes, but it's like white and then black drawn on his face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Crazy paving. No?
He's not so he's not Wibbly Wobbly Man.
No. So Wibbly Wobbly or Chocolate Buttons, I call him.
Yeah, Chocolate Buttons.
He's Salation. Then we've got Baius, Buckethead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Giron, who you only see in the background in episode 2. I've put Gimp Necklace, but I don't know if he's like sort of, it's like black and there's like a sort of black sort of head, sort of gimpy black with a big medallion necklace, who was like literally like the most background delegate.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen again, so that's where I've got with the delegates. I love the delegates though. I absolutely love the delegates. Imagine an action figure set of the delegates from Mission to the, like, imagine that. A little conference table, and you got your figures. How cool would that be? That's like a collector's thing. Like, we've never talked about the action figures, have we? You're looking at me.
And we'll leave it there.
Okay. People know. There's people out there that will agree with me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So there we go. So that's our delegate
You have figures. You must have figures.
Yeah, I've got like the doctors and stuff. I have like one of the doctors. I don't like collect like anything and everything. Not all of them.
No.
No.
Okay.
But there are, like, figures of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Liverpool stuff.
We'll talk about Liverpool later. Don't even stick around for that reference, right? And then last time you said about this Dungeons and Dragons thing, which took me by surprise out of the blue. To be honest,
I just thought I'd roll that one in. Bit of extra work for Mark.
So I've done a bit of homework on that. So what are they called? The character attributes. Character attributes.
Is that what it is? Have I just made that up?
No, I think that's right.
I mean, attributes is a thing. I might have just, like, rolled with attributes.
So that's, like, lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good.
Yep. Lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral. And then lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil.
So I've written these out from the characters so far in Dalek's Master Plan.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to read them to you.
And then I'll see if I agree.
Yeah. Okay, and I did look up, like, the definitions of them and try to fit.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going off because Community, which you don't like.
No.
But I like Community. So Community do this really well. Their characters are very well defined. So I'm going off that.
Okay.
So I'll see if I agree based on the Community.
Right, so my characters from Dalek's Master Plan have to match your characters from Community, otherwise it's wrong. Great, okay. All those Doctor Who Community fans, you're in for a treat right now. Okay.
/ Doctor Who / Community / D&D. That's
there we
that
go.
really
If
specific
you tick all them
niche.
boxes, you are. This is the one. Right. Okay, so lawful good.
Yeah.
I got Katarina.
Yeah.
Like, she obeys.
Yeah, I give you that.
Okay. Neutral good. I put Stephen.
Yeah.
Which sort of tries to follow
I'd say more lawful neutral.
Who in Community is neutral good?
So Annie in Community is neutral good.
Okay, so is that a match with Stephen then?
No, I would say that Britta is more like Stephen. Okay,
I don't know who
She's
that
a
is.
little bit more like activist.
Okay. Right, yeah. Well, I can see Stephen.
And she always
more
like tries to like stand up for the good person, stand up like.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought with Stephen. He does stand up for what's right, but he can be a bit.
So that's why I've gone for like lawful neutral more there.
Okay. So chaotic good, I've got the Doctor.
Chaotic good.
Yeah.
I would go with
going
that.
for what is good, but not necessarily going the correct route sometimes. In a way, I think that's what the definition was. Not a bit different to everyone else, but for the greater good.
Yes.
Lawful neutral, I put Sarah Kingdom. Follows the rules, takes orders again in that way.
Yeah, I agree.
True neutral, I put Brett. Who have you got in Community? Who matches with Brett?
So true neutral is Abed.
Right. He's the Brett Voyen of Community.
I mean, have you ever watched Community?
I've watched like maybe one episode. I cannot tell you who.
So Abed is the one that is like in his own little mind, but literally has like. Okay, I'm trying to think of another equivalent to a true neutral. Hang on, let me tell you another. So in Harry Potter, a true neutral is Snape.
Yeah, I can see Brett as Snape.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because he killed those people. Brett was like killed.
Yeah.
He was doing what he thought was right, but he wasn't. He was doing it quite recklessly. Okay, and then chaotic neutral. I've got Kirkson, who's the one that captured Katarina in the airlock.
Chaotic evil or chaotic
neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
So the definition was will do anything to survive.
Yes, I will give you that.
So he was like, I need to get off this planet.
He wasn't evil. He wasn't like he didn't do it out of spite.
He was on a prison planet. But,
yeah, but he didn't do it like out of like.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, he was just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Lawful evil, Mavic Chen, obviously.
In Community.
Who in Community is lawful evil?
In Community, it is my favourite character, which is the Dean.
Okay, so the Dean is the Mavic Chen of Community.
But I don't think, actually, no, I don't think I think he's more neutral evil.
Okay, so neutral evil, I've got the Daleks.
I definitely agree that the Daleks are neutral evil. I don't think he's lawful evil because he's trying to break all the rules. He's like going against every rule anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, but Mavic Chen he's upholding. There was a definition that I read that made it sound like Mavic Chen to me.
Okay, that's fine.
Some kind of...
I'm going with you. I'm going literally like... I'm comparing to...
Like Mavic Chen and the Daleks are pretty similar. Yeah, they could be interchangeable, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chaotic Evil, I've just put all the delegates.
That's interesting.
And I had also run out of characters, so I couldn't really do anything else.
But in that then, I would say then they should be in the same thing as Chen.
Who in Community is Chaotic Evil?
It's Senor Chang. It's Chang.
Right.
In Community, it's Chang. So who's just like crazy.
That's the delegates.
But they're not. So in Harry Potter, it's what's her name? Beatrix.
Beatrix, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah. She's chaotic evil.
Yeah, that's sort of the delegates because they are a bit. Some of them are.
I'd say they're like more lawful evil.
But they all want.
Would you say the
things for
Daleks
themselves.
are chaotic evil?
There was something in Neutral Evil that was like because the Daleks don't care. Yeah,
Yes.
okay, they use Mavic Chen and work with him until he's finishes
Yes.
use.
No,
then they'll
you're
kill him.
completely
They'll
right.
turn on anybody
Yeah.
with the Daleks. Whereas the delegates, yeah, they're a bit more. They're ruthless, but they're not going to expect
Yeah, because
or necessarily turn on each other or anything, are they?
Voldemort's neutral evil or whatever. So the Daleks are in
it's
that
the Daleks.
same.
Yeah, just use
Yeah.
people around them. Yeah. So there we
Okay.
go. That was a bit different. Wasn't expecting that. So
I'm sure other people would disagree.
here we are. If you
Or,
like, if
hey,
you know what
do
we're
your
talking
own.
about. Yeah.
Do your own. Have
Do your
fun.
own. Do your own. And also, just one other thing. So, Katarina, I've got to go back to Katarina.
Mm.
We've not given her enough time. I did a poll on my Twitter and
Right.
said, does Katarina count as a companion or not?
Right.
Because you said no.
I just didn't think she did.
I got 31 votes,
Ooh.
and with 65% of the vote, yes, she counts as a companion. 35% useless guest. And listener Gavin agrees.
Yeah.
He
Hi,
said,
Gavin.
And agrees with me because she went from Mythmakers to Daleks Master Plan. You do more than one story, and that, in my mind, is the reason. You see.
Yeah. No, I can see it. I understand. It's just, I understand the reasoning. It's just not something that crosses my mind. Like, put it this way, when we come to the Doskers, other than the fact that we go through this, I'm not going to remember that she was supposed to be in the running for...
Well, yeah, I mean, best regular might be stretching it a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she needs to be there. I'm going to put her there.
I already have debates about
Justice for Katarina.
I already have debates about the fact that we have more than 4 places in.
Okay. We'll get to that. We've got a while. Let's not have this argument right now.
We already had this argument last time.
We've only just had a Doskers. We can't.
But, like, I will already have forgotten about her.
Yeah.
So I can see it. But I think that's why I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
What is her impact on me? I was kind of glad she went. I was also glad about Susan, but I do remember Susan.
She didn't understand. She couldn't understand. She wanted to save our lives, and perhaps the lives of all the other beings of the solar system.
So we sadly did lose Katarina and
Yeah.
Brett,
And
actually.
Brett.
And just thinking about Katarina, this is my last Katarina thought, okay?
Yeah.
So when
is she your new Edith?
Yes, yeah. Katarina and Edith, they would get on so well. They'd make all that venison.
She just as she was told.
But when the doctor says,
Venison.
she wanted to save everybody. She wanted us all to live, and so she sacrificed herself. But Katarina comes from, like, Troy. She does not know what a button is, what an airlock is. She couldn't even read airlock. She just accidentally pushed a button and went out into space.
Here's
She
my
was not trying to
thinking on
save
it.
the universe. She had no idea.
The very start, the doctor like teaches her about a button, right?
yes.
This is my thing.
yes.
It's like one of the first things he teaches her. opens doors, right?
Oh my god, you've just made a complete... That is an amazing theory. You've just made the most original Doctor Who theory I've ever heard. Katarina and the button theory.
That's it. That is it. He's like, now remember, push that button. And that's it. That's all she knows to do, like, in terms of space, is push button equals open door. So she's in trouble. Push button equals open door. She wasn't thinking, like, where door would open.
She
doesn't understand that. She probably thought, I'll go back in.
Just step outside on that planet again. Oh no, I'm in space. Yeah.
And I'm dead.
Oh.
Push
that just
button
made it more
equals...
tragic.
Yeah.
Although that is an amazing push button equals the Katarina button theory.
That is it. That is it. She's that simple. It's the very first thing he says and teaches her.
I think we should write a Doctor Who book about Katarina.
No, we shouldn't. No one should. Let it lie there, Mark. It's like fucking Edith. Right, come on, let's get cracking.
Right, so...
Let's go.
So then Sarah Kingdom was after the Doctor and Stephen.
They will be shot on sight, but aim for the head.
Best character name ever still for a guest. Sarah Kingdom.
So we'll go episode by episode because there's so many different. So counterplot. The Doctor and Stephen find some mice in this room.
Yeah, very random, very quick, very random.
I think they should sell that thing that they were in. They could sell that as like a Doctor Who fan's
Do you think
mouse
they did?
cage. I don't know. No, I think it's... If I had a mouse cage, it would look like that. I'm just saying. Anyway. And then they get transported by accident across the universe. So when we have some trampoline action and some...
Oh, that was funny.
And some wavy head.
When we looked at it more, I realised it wasn't trampoline because Stephen's top wasn't moving.
I think it was.
No, the hair wasn't moving.
Yeah, but he's in that... I said, he's in that double-breasted jacket that I hate. It doesn't move. It's too heavy for him.
But Sarah Adventure Super Trooper, her hair wasn't moving at all.
I don't know how they did it. Maybe they just stood there and the camera went up and down.
I think that was it. I genuinely think that was it. Because it did look like they were bouncing, but after I said that, I was like, nothing is moving. And the Doctor definitely had the worst expression of the lot.
I know,
He just looked really happy, like,
I know.
And it's brilliant that he didn't make it the cut.
But we've not really seen that kind of effect. I mean, I know they've just, like, added some more light and done it, but we haven't seen that before in Doctor Who.
We've seen flashy light.
Yeah, but not like that kind of so overexposed, weird...
Yeah, but every time the Dalek shoots something.
Yeah, that's, like, negative, not like... I thought it was a unique effect. For Doctor Who at this point.
The bit that it carried on into was...
Oh, all of that, it went a bit psychedelic a little bit.
Very 60s.
Yeah. And then we end up on a jungle planet.
Of course.
They just happen to have a lot of plants left over from Kemble.
So we were saying, how many jungle planets have we had so far?
Like the whole lot we've done ever?
No, just in season 3.
No, we haven't, because Galaxy 4 was barren. And then we had Mission to the Unknown, which was Kemble.
Yeah.
Then we had Mythmakers, which was Desert. And then Dalek's Master Plan, which was Kemble again. So, yeah, sort of like the third jungle setting we've had. With a bit... This had, like, washing up liquid and smoke. This is sort of where things slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
There's the invisible creatures. The footprints were good.
Yeah, we like them.
We were impressed by them. We were trying to work out how that's done. Not much happens with them on the planet, and then there's a lot of Mavic Chen and Carlton, his little sidekick.
Great name.
He's our sort of Shakespearean villain.
What would we give Carlton? What's Carlton?
Oh, Carlton is maybe he's chaotic evil.
Maybe
Because he wants a bit of power, doesn't he?
He does.
He's sort of come out from nowhere. I only
love
noticed
Carlton.
I only noticed him in this episode. He was in before.
Yeah, but he was like supporting.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time for Carlton. Love a bit of Carlton.
I
prefer him to
more.
Chen in terms of like evilness.
Chen is starting to go a little bit over the top. I mean, not like Aztecs over the top. You know, with his little pointing him with his little finger and his big gestures and
I loved it. Was like the back, like the camera stood back and he like took center stage, moved back, walked forward, drama. Loved it. You know, when we talk about like, because that was a filmed episode, and we've talked previously about episodes that are missing, but we'd like to see the big monologues.
Yeah.
That was an example of, God, wouldn't it be great to see that monologue? Like, we'd probably think, but actually watching it, it's shit.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to be like, actually, it's worth seeing. I'm glad it exists.
It just looks like... it sounded great because he was like, and then... But watching it, it's just a very empty space. And
He's just standing in a room, yeah.
Him standing in a room trying to look grander. Yeah. And then that zoom up of Colton. Is it Colton?
Colton, yeah.
Colton's face, like, great. That's the best part.
So I should just say, so we watched this on... This episode exists, episode 5. We watched this on DVD, and then we carried on watching the loose cannon unofficial reconstructions for the other ones, the missing ones. And the existing ones of these are available on BritBox, I believe.
Are they?
If you need to know, message Sarah on our Twitter. She can guide you through BritBox on the orphaned episodes or whatever they're called.
Oh, I just got rid of it.
You know where the Crusade ones were?
I've just unsubscribed, Soz. Oh. Well, we're back meeting now, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you're watching around here. Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Okay, we'll forget about BritBox. You guys carry on BritBox. Sarah's done with BritBox.
I'm done with BritBox. My frustration of BritBox is done. I'm back here now.
Actually, big revelation in this episode. Sarah Kingdom killed her brother.
Yeah.
Sarah, why?
Brett Kingdom.
Brett Kingdom. Oh, no, he's Brett Voyne. Brett Voyne, but...
Yeah. Obviously, Sarah Kingdom's
What was
married.
the point of that?
But Brett had to be killed.
Shut up. Brett Byrne was my brother.
It was so... It happened, like, it's a shame they didn't make a bigger deal of it. If they were going to make it.
Stephen was very, like, in her face, like, why did you do that? Why did you kill him? And it shows she's following orders. She's like, well, Mavic Chen manipulated her.
Yeah.
But even so, she didn't even stop to be like, oh, hi, brother. What's going on? I haven't seen you for a while. I hear that you've stolen some terranium. Before I shoot you, I might just have a conversation. But she was just like, blam, oh yeah, he's on the floor there.
Yeah.
Carry on. Like, and she wasn't that upset.
No, she wasn't.
That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Character flaw.
And I'm not sure if it comes up again. And we'll see if any of that comes up again. But I know the pace of the story and the adventure. We've said this before, haven't we? Where there's not that much time to...
Yeah. Well, there is, but they choose not to have that much time. But
then why do it? I just think, why do it anyway? I mean, yeah, okay, it makes you think... I don't know if it makes you like her anymore. It doesn't make you like her anymore, but you feel a bit more sorry for her. But then she did it herself, so... She could have said something like, oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't... She could have killed someone else or killed one of the scientists or something.
Yeah.
Or done something else where and she just believes their story and off she goes on the TARDIS with them.
Yeah. It's just a bit... It's really... Other than the Doctor going, oh, just leave it. And then literally she's back in as if it... Like, that's it. They don't make any moment of it. It would... If it had happened and he'd have been... Even if Stephen had been like... Look, I'm sorry, and they'd have talked about it. But she literally goes, that was my brother, storms out, and then literally almost walks straight back in, doesn't she, to go, there's some monsters out there. Yeah. As if, like, it's just this nothing thing.
I've written, sorry, I'm just going through my notes for this. Can you remember Can you remember why I wrote fingers?
Yes, I do.
Why did I write...
Yes.
Oh, yes, Mavic Chen's fingers. I was like, why did I write that? Yes.
They were just like this really long camera shot on his fingers.
He's holding the pen in a space way.
Yeah.
And rolls it in a space way. But it's such a long
time. It's like 10 seconds. Yeah. It's just there for ages. And he's talking, isn't it? He's just talking. And the camera's just on his... I wonder whether they were like still faffing with his hair or something. And so they just left the camera there while he was talking. They're like...
Well, he's just probably waiting for his cue. He's queued up and they're like, right, go.
Well, he was talking.
Oh, yes, it was.
No, he was talking.
And then he whooshes his pencil across the floor.
He was short. He was weird. He was just there, and we were looking at his fingers, and he's talking.
Did we talk about his writing last time? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
his squiggles.
His squiggles, right like Mavic Chen. Yeah.
That could be a game, like colour
Yeah.
like Chen.
Colour like Chen. And then we're on to episode 6, Coronas of the Sun. Mm-hmm. Lots of meanings there. I'm not sure why it was called Coronas of the Sun, but that's when we had our invisible Dalek battle, which this is really where these episodes, there's a lot of Dalek and Chen talk, and all of those conversations, I can't tell you if it happened in 5, 6, 7 or 8. I couldn't tell. They're interchangeable for me. And Daleks invisible, like the Daleks are just, again, all those scenes, not interested.
No.
They're not too long. We've had longer. We've had worse, but they're still too long.
The trouble is, up until this point, the Daleks haven't annoyed me because all their scenes have served a purpose. Even if they've been chasing they have served a purpose. This is the first time, like you say, we've just had a lot of back and forth with Dalek and Chen of the same thing. It's, well, they're not here. Well, no, they're here. Well, this is this. Well, that is that. Well, it's the same thing. It's really boring.
And also, because in episode 4, I think, we had them on that spaceship going to the prison planet and getting away from Kemble towards Earth, whatever they're trying to do. We've got that again. Stephen, Sarah and the Doctor steal the Dalek ship. It's the same spaceship background noise. They're on a ship. Oh, we're being pulled in the wrong direction. Are they
By
going
the
to Kemble?
Daleks.
Are they going to Kemble? Are they going to Earth? Where are they going?
Yeah.
The
Daleks have control again.
Yeah,
it's just the same.
And it's like the chase again. It really goes right back into the chase.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Doctor arguing with Stephen. Now, this is where, because the Doctor makes a fake terranium core.
Yes.
And they put their COVID visors on.
They do.
And this is where I got a bit lost. Stephen's space future knowledge comes in handy. He shows off a bit of science.
But I've established he's not as far ahead as they are.
I think Sarah Kingdom is more ahead,
Yeah.
Well, isn't that rather a drastic way of dealing with things?
Look, Sarah, the technology of my age may be hundreds of years behind yours and the Doctor's, but there are still some things I can handle.
Yes, of course it is, my dear boy.
And so they're arguing about how to do it, or the power or something. And then suddenly Stephen's in this force field in a bit of a zombie state for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
I got a bit confused about what's going on.
He suggested something.
Yeah.
They were like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
They walk off and he goes, I'm going to try it anyway. He does it, ends up like knocking himself out and ends up like, what was it? This like with some protective thing around him. And in that is a bit zombied out.
He's got a force field, and then so when the Daleks and there's that handover, he doesn't get shot.
Yeah, because the force field light.
Yeah. And there's a lot of arguing with the Doctor and Stephen in this. They're very...
So much arguing.
Where are you with Stephen right now? I need to know this.
I need to know this. I like Stephen.
So, okay, let me put it another way. Ian is a hero, right?
Yeah.
Is he starting to sort of fade out a little bit at all? Or is he going to
Ian will never fade out.
You are Team Ian.
I'm so Team Ian.
I'm just going to say I'm Team Stephen. I know Ian's great, but I think I'm Team Stephen.
Okay. I like Stephen. I don't not like Stephen. I forgot Barbara's name when we were talking earlier.
I know. Well, it's been a while. The chase was a while ago.
I'll never forget Ian. But he will always be in my heart. I like Stephen. He just does a very different role to what Ian did.
He is action, but he's still not... I think he's action, but he's still more vulnerable.
He's more social justice.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
He's more for the justice.
Yeah. He doesn't have a problem arguing with the Doctor and arguing with whoever, actually.
Yeah. He's for the rights of the people, for everything, for the rights of humans and, beings. That's sort of his jam.
Yeah.
You know?
Him. Yeah. And he gets upset and he's protective. He's protective of Well, he was protective of Katarina.
Yeah.
He was.
Button.
And he's suddenly very protective with Sarah.
Yeah.
And I know she's only just sort of come along with them, but there's not really, I don't know, she's not part of that team.
No.
But he would still protect her with everything.
Yeah, but he protects people.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
And he got angry at her for shooting Brett.
It's Christmas. Don't you remember the police station, Christmas?
So it was, yes.
Here's a toast, a happy Christmas to all of us.
Same to you, Doctor. Sir.
Incidentally, a happy Christmas to all of you at home.
Okay, well, we've got to get onto it. Feast of Stephen episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so looking forward to what you would think about this.
Yeah. So the title being a Christmas reference.
Yeah.
On the Feast of Stephen.
So, I would love to see this episode. It would be amazing. It's so different. And
Yes.
it's very controversial, I think, among fans.
So random.
Well, so it was broadcast on Christmas Day. So the idea was, you're in the middle of the Daleks master plan, but this is going to be on Christmas Day. Back then, not as many people watched TV on Christmas Day, so it couldn't be major part of the overall storyline because lots of people would miss it.
Yeah.
And also, they didn't want something sort of doom and gloom, Katarina dying on Christmas Day. So that's the reason they were like, right, let's plan. It can't have anything to do with the main story.
Yeah.
Because it needs to stop for a week while we have Christmas.
Yeah.
So this was the first time I watched the loose cannon reconstruction because there's no telesnap. There's a few not official telesnaps of this.
Yeah.
And everything else is sort of being put together as a reconstruction with photos of what people might look like and stuff. So, like the director, for instance, we'll get onto that. No one knows what it looks like. There's no photos of that at all.
No.
So in the loose cannon reconstruction, halfway through, you were like, that's the director from Singing in the Rain. What's he doing here?
95% sure that is the same director.
Yeah. So
everything about that is identical.
Whoever's put it together obviously used these other photos from elsewhere, which is fine, and it puts together the story, which is great.
Yeah.
And I've actually understood it a lot more. I really need those visuals sometimes.
Yeah. I'd have been really annoyed without the visuals.
So we land at a police station in Liverpool.
Is it Liverpool?
I think it's supposed to be Liverpool.
Well, I can tell you now, I don't think it's Liverpool, Mark.
I thought it was supposed to be Liverpool.
If it's supposed to be fine, but it's just general the north. It's like we're in the north and here's some northern police officers. Mark thinks Liverpool. Mark would think Liverpool because Mark has recently told me he's a Liverpool fan.
Can you just tell this story?
And then we can get it out of the way
Just
for
tell
Mark.
this story. We've already said there's going to be a Liverpool reference.
So,
This has happened quite recently, everyone.
okay. So we were in Sports Direct. I was buying some yellow socks for a fancy dress outfit. And we talk about football and about Liverpool. Mark picked up, that was it, because Mark picked up a fleece, like a blanket fleece thing. And I went, what are you doing? Like, you don't talk about football. And I was talking about Liverpool, and out of nowhere, Mark just went, I support Liverpool. And I went, what? I went, Mark, you've never, ever mentioned football or Liverpool, like, ever. Yeah, I support Liverpool. I support Liverpool. And I didn't know what to, and I couldn't stop laughing. I found the whole thing hilarious. And basically, I fancy Klopp, who's the Liverpool manager. I think he's beautiful. He can do what he wants to me in the same way Ian can. And so Mark went off to find the Liverpool annual to look at a picture of Klopp, which sums up Mark's...
No, I didn't mean I was like a present fan as such. I said when I was younger.
That's not how it came out, Mark.
And
That's not how it came out.
Liverpool in the 90s I can tell you about, but now I can't.
I support Liverpool.
But I support Liverpool. If I had to support Liverpool.
It's so funny.
I have to
It's
support
so
Liverpool.
funny. It's so funny. And then later on, Mark was going on about the shirt, and he was like, well, yeah, because I was looking at the shirt the other day, and it was black.
I was going to buy one. It was
from?
on my eBay. I'll show you my eBay. That was like 2
And
weeks
it's
before we
black.
even had that
And I was like,
conversation.
Mark, the Liverpool, it's red. They bleed
But
red.
it was the away one.
Yeah, but you didn't
Black
even
one
know.
looked better. Anyway,
So now Mark has a Liverpool badge on his bag to prove he's a Liverpool fan. And the next game we're going to watch. I do follow football, so I know. Do you even know they won the league?
yes, I know that. But I supported them before that. Anyway.
First I've ever heard of this. Liverpool will forevermore come up in reference on this podcast now and then. I would just every now and again be like, yeah, but Mark supports Liverpool.
Anyway,
Random.
I think the Feast of Stephen is set in Liverpool.
Of course you do.
I've heard it somewhere, but I can't find any references to it at the moment. So I'll find out for sure.
Yeah.
If it was
next
there.
Liverpool game, me and Mark
yeah.
are going to watch
Yeah.
it, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about it on here.
Yeah,
And Mark can
okay.
tell us all about his favourite players. and also since then, you've been getting Liverpool.
So we talked about it, and my iPad was on in my bag, and then all on my Instagram and Twitter are adverts for Liverpool, visit Liverpool, or football shirts with Liverpool football shirts.
That's only because
And
you're on
my
eBay.
Facebook. And
That's
on my
because you went on
Facebook,
eBay.
the Liverpool local news comes up as an advert.
That's because you're on eBay.
Maybe.
That's because you put Liverpool shirts in your eBay account.
Okay.
That's not because we were talking about it. That makes more sense now. I've thought that through.
It was the day after we were talking about it. It appeared. Anyway,
I've not had
let's
any.
get back to the Feast of Stephen.
Yeah, the Feast of Stephen.
So we have this whole police stuff.
Yeah.
Stephen in a police uniform. He gets out of that horrible jacket that I don't like.
No, you hated it.
And he puts on his Liverpool accent, or northern accent.
Northern. It's not Liverpool.
Okay.
Some Liverpool fan markets.
And not much happens.
No.
It's a very... Apart from, there was that bit where the guy from the Crusade, obviously it's the same actor, and then the doctor
I would
says,
never have known.
"Didn't I see you at the market at Jaffa?"
Does he
Lol.
say that?
Yeah.
I thought he
actually-
said, haven't I seen you before?
No, he says, "Haven't I seen you before?" Oh yeah, the market at Jaffa.
Oh, he says that?
Yeah,
Oh,
he actually says that.
oh weird. I never,
Which
ever
is
would
like
have
a
guessed.
joke for William Hartnell only. Like, who else? Like,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, weird.
Nothing much happens. What are your thoughts on this police bit?
It happened.
Okay.
Moving on.
And then they end up in Hollywood,
Yes.
and there's a bit of a run around.
Yes.
And I mean, the audio isn't great on this. There's a lot of
Yeah.
shouting, and it's, the pictures aren't great. And I think if we could watch this, it's a lot of physical comedy, and it would be great.
Yeah.
And I think if this existed, it would change the way people think of 60s Doctor Who, because there is no other episode. Like, there's no other episode like this.
No.
We haven't had anything like this before. Even The Chase, which, had its, you said about Empire State Building chase
Yeah.
moments, even that seems so toned down compared to this.
It's such a shame that it doesn't exist because, I mean, you had like Charlie Chaplin, you had the policeman,
Yeah, running. Yeah.
little running policeman. You had all that sort of fun. It was really hard though, like, because of the audio.
Yeah.
It was a shame.
Yeah. And I was saying to you earlier, apparently this is the one that is least likely to be found ever, because
Yeah.
they didn't make any copies to sell overseas. No one bought it. No one wanted it. So it was shown once on Christmas Day, and that was it. So the only hope is if someone, which could happen, if someone had their own video recorder back then, which would have been like, is possible,
Yeah.
and recorded it on Christmas Day, which, if you're out
Probably
there, if all right, okay, if somebody has the Feast of Stephen in their basement,
It would
that
would have come out by now, surely.
if it's one of these ones that, no, yeah, I don't think
That
so.
would have
I
come
don't
out by
think so,
now.
yeah.
Because that's different to like that's someone's like home recording. If you think of all the audio that's come out from fans, that would be
Yeah.
a fan recording of a home rather than
or it's gone in the collection, or I know, yeah.
that's
yeah,
such a
I know what
different
you
thing
mean.
to
It is
like
different, yeah.
fans like
But-
to collectors who collect.
People just don't know. They don't know that it's missing, or so like But it's so annoying because it's the most unique.
It is.
And I'm sure a lot of fans are like, oh, it's silly, it's stupid, what is the point? But actually, it would just change, even to see William Hartnell in that setting. It's a Christmas special. It's the first Doctor Who Christmas special.
Yeah. It's just farcy and silly.
Yeah, I know.
And, but, I mean, fun in the sense of, like, because it's so different, and it's that sort of, like, set, got to be this sort of way. Not, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's that sort of style. It's very slapstick. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. In the same way that think of a slapstick. Romans, yeah. That sort of thing. Yeah, it's a shame. That makes me sad in terms of the whole missing episodes thing, that it's very unlikely that will be found because of that. That makes me sad. But that's not in terms of like a missing episodes thing, just like classic BBC thing.
Yeah. And actually, you know, I was thinking about this the other day as well. I have my rant about my collectors that are holding things back, but you got to add, I mean, the BBC, obviously they didn't know these things. They didn't know that people would want to watch these things again.
No.
Or want video recordings or DVDs and stuff. Okay, fair enough. And they needed the space, and they needed the money to, you know.
Yeah.
But when it gets to things like, there's stories where in the 90s, someone phoned up the BBC and were like, we've got all of these Doctor Who episodes, you know, Marco Polo, whatever, the whole first series.
Yeah.
Do you want us to send them back to you from whatever country we're having to clear out? Do you want them? And the BBC were like, no, they're all out on video here already.
Yeah.
Like, and that is someone not doing their job properly and checking, because by that point they stopped junking episodes in like the 70s, so a lot of these did survive until then. But so they knew in the 70s that this stuff needed to, but it took so much time for all the red tape and all of the different departments to actually work together. And when it gets to when you hear a story like that in the 90s, where actually we could have had the Mythmakers, possibly, or Marco Polo or something, that is someone not doing their job properly, and that's the BBC not doing. So that's just someone who doesn't care, that picked up the phone and was like, whatever. Yeah. That's what makes me angry.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
You know, it's that, like, you couldn't help it back then, so they didn't know. But when they do know and it still happens, you're like, ah. Oh. And I think the BBC's great. There's a few things that the BBC have done. One, when they stopped Doctor Who, but they did start it again, so fine. And also when they decided to get rid of Neighbours. But in hindsight, I was so angry with the BBC when they decided not to carry on Neighbours. But Channel 5 have done more for Neighbours than the BBC would ever do. So in hindsight, and again, BBC brought back Doctor Who, although they got rid of it in the first place. So it was all worked out in the end.
Neighbours has thrived.
But the BBC have done some dick move stuff.
Proper dick move, yeah. No,
and I'm sure they will again, but
I think that's it. Like you said, I think I don't get as annoyed about. You get really annoyed about the whole missing episodes thing, and I just think it's just such a shame. I mean, there's TV series, there's TV shows who
there's
just
so much.
are gone.
Yeah, I mean, you're so lucky to even have the Feast of Stephen. Imagine if the Feast of Stephen, there was no audio and nothing, and it would just be this myth of like, there was a Christmas episode in the 60s, no one knows what it was like, no one knows how. Imagine all what people would be thinking about it. And it's not just Doctor
Who, it's like there's Dad's Army, there's missing episodes, but there's this whole TV series. That's crazy to think about, isn't it? There's whole television shows that are just gone. And that makes me sad. Like, it just makes me sad. And so when I think of this, I think that's really sad, because all those people that worked on it, you know, because there are a lot of actors in this episode. And that's life, that's what it is.
Yeah. But no, I would love to see that, though.
I'd just like to see that sort of moment. It would be quite funny, quite nice.
It would.
Yeah, but it was hard with the audio, because it was just shouting, and There's no context to it.
I've said this before, I always feel like the shouting sounds sounds shouty.
Yeah, it does.
But then when you watch the actual episodes,
You've got context.
I don't know, it just seems everybody is shouting in the missing episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we better move on.
Yeah.
So then we go to Volcano.
Yeah. Some nice stock footage.
Which was a week later, the New Year's episode, I suppose.
Yeah. And that was it as well. It had nothing to do with the story. And then it was like, and now we're back.
Yeah. So it's really 2 weeks out, isn't it? I don't know why they just didn't have a break for 2 weeks and then carry on. I don't know.
Because it was Christmas, Mark.
Yeah.
What a fantastic opportunity to build your audience up.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, but in the middle of a story that no one's watched the first however many episodes.
So random. Anyway.
But we see our delegates again. So we get chocolate buttons. And we get Dick face.
Yeah. Willy face, whatever.
Yeah. His buttons are bigger. His balls are bigger.
His balls are bigger, yeah.
We get those two delegates. Balls and Dick come back. And they... Oh, no, who dies?
Willy face man.
Willy face.
Yeah.
He gets shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, more Daleks, Mavic Chen. The delegates
they do
add
the
a little
swap,
bit of variety.
don't they? They do, We've said that. They do the swap.
They've done the swap, so they find out that it's not the right
I would have shot Mavic Chen by now if I was a Dalek. I mean, he has proper insulted the Daleks so much.
Yeah, they must need him around for something. I can't.
They've already decided that they're going to shoot him at the end of this.
But that's what they didn't. They say that what's his name? Our friend. Oh, what's his name? Bold man.
Oh,
Carlton. Didn't Carlton say the Daleks need you because they don't know how to mine the terranium? It took him 50 years.
Yeah, but now they got the terranium back.
But they haven't because it's the fake one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the fake one. They found out that. Yeah. Okay. Great. More Dalek stuff. Then we have the Doctor, Sarah and Stephen are on the volcano planet, just having a bit of a look around.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by the return of the monk?
I was very surprised. I was like, well...
What do you think about that?
I was like, well, I'll be blown.
Hello, Doctor. Keeping well?
Oh, no complaints, no. And you?
Oh, so, you know. Just so.
Who is it?
Delighted to see you again, young man.
Thanks. I wish I could say the same for you.
Well, you're not a fan of the monk, are you? So
yeah, no, don't say that. I'm not a fan. Just you say that because you wanted me to be more excited about that episode. So you've determined, therefore, I'm not a fan. It was a nice little cameo. New Year's Eve, watching Doctor Who. Monk makes a little cameo. All those people that haven't watched Doctor Who before, this character that no one knows anything about has appeared again, I don't not like him.
We've forgotten a bit, actually, the cricket match.
Oh, right, this is the worst. And we haven't. Sorry. Just going back, the one thing when we appeared in Hollywood and it looked like they were on a boat. And I went, where's Barbara? Sorry. This is the worst thing about this lot. It's just like The Chase. It's just place after place after place. But what was good with... Do I mean The Chase? Yeah. But what was good with The Chase was it was quite contained. This feels like it's just gone on and on. And I feel like we've had 3 episodes of it because we've had all the Christmas special and then we've had this, going into a frigging cricket match as well now. And I feel like we had a bit of the last one. Have I just imagined that? It feels like a lot.
Yeah, it is. And then they land a New Year again.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We need to go back, everyone. The Doctor saying Happy Christmas to everyone with his drink at the end. That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, very...
Controversial moment in Doctor Who.
I bet.
Breaking the fourth wall.
He did break the fourth wall. Yeah, it's just all very random. I don't know, it's just a very random episode, that.
The monk locks them out. The Doctor gets his ring out again.
Classic.
He uses that ring quite a lot. From the wet planet.
We haven't got any sonic screwdrivers yet.
Well, no, yeah, this is it, isn't it? It's your sonic ring. It's your magic ring.
In your brain.
Yeah. And the explanation is just, shone the ring and the sun, and it made it open because it's special. And you even get like Stephen being like, yeah, so what actually happened? And he's like, well, this happened. And Stephen's like, yeah, but what actually happened? And he's like, don't worry about it. Move on.
Shut up.
Move on. Which is lazy writing. It's just getting round it to move the story on. There is no point. Why even have that episode?
The monk cameo, I really enjoyed the monk being there. I felt like I did not see it coming, but it was pointless.
Yeah.
It served absolutely no purpose. Because it didn't. Like, it contributed nothing to that story at all. It just delayed it by like 10 minutes. What actually happened from that? Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing is brought from that. He arrives, he does the thing, he's like, ha, and then, like, evil moment. They walk up, he shines his ring on it, and they walk in, and off they go. And that was it. And he's like, this won't be... And that was the best bit. He goes, this won't be the last you hear from me. And then they go in the TARDIS, and Stephen goes, I don't think that's the last we'll hear from him. That was the best part of that whole thing.
Yeah, that was funny.
It didn't serve any purpose to the story. What would have been cool is if, like, the monk had teamed up with them to fight the Daleks, or if it had lasted longer, to some extent, if maybe that had been like a sort of, I don't know, I don't even know how, because it would have annoyed me, I think. But, like, maybe if he'd have come involved in it somehow. But
we've got 4 more episodes to go.
Yeah, we do. Oh, God, we do. It just annoyed me. It was like 10 minutes, off he pops. I was like... Pfft. But I think it's also because we've just had 2 episodes, basically, of that. We've had 2 episodes of 10-minute little snippets of we end up in a place, we do some random thing, we get back on a ship, we fuck off somewhere else. We get off it, 10 minutes, do some random place, get back on. Anyway, yeah.
And then, do you know what? I can't even remember how it finished. I think the Daleks were like, right, we're off to find them, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, they got the time
Oh, they got there
travel.
in the time machine and were like, right, we're off to...
Which is from The Chase.
Yeah.
Because Ian and Barbara got in it, didn't they?
The Chase again, yeah.
How did they get it back? Did they just have a spare?
Well, they just build them, don't they?
Of course, they're Daleks. Yeah.
So, what are your hopes for the last 4 episodes of this, then?
No more of that, like, little short 10-minute... That was the other thing I noticed, that it said, what was it, like, an idea by Terry Nation.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've noticed that half of it's written by Terry Nation and half by Dennis Spooner, who is the script editor, who wrote Romans.
Okay.
And Myth Makers.
I haven't been paying that much attention. Just that I noticed one said
they've been taking it in turns.
Okay.
And Terry Nation was like, yeah, Terry Nation I don't think was a great script. He was like, here's some of the script, you finish it off.
Right.
So half and half.
Right.
And I don't think they communicated while they were writing,
of course,
alternative episodes. It's not great. It's just a weird time for the series. There's still a lot of behind the scenes shit going down, basically.
Yeah.
It's weird. We're watching it in like really hot weather. For me, it's like a Christmas story. It's like a winter story to sort of binge watch.
I couldn't binge watch it.
Well, you know what I mean. Just stay in on like a winter's evening and watch Dalek's Master Plan. Is that, is what I would do.
You can hope. I'm enjoying it.
You just want this story to be over as soon as possible.
No, it's a shame. I was really enjoying it, actually.
But the first 4 have been the best so far.
And 6, the first, and then the next 6. Feast of Stephen was a curveball, but fine. Like, it was a curveball, but I was like, I'll take it. And then the last one really annoyed me. Yeah. And now I'm at a point like, I just kind of want this done now. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I said to you, actually, I think after 6, I was like, this could finish here now, and that would be fine. Like, when they handed the training over,
felt like the end.
That felt like a really nice... They could go off on the... And it almost felt like it. The way it was sort of concluded felt like it.
Well, they were probably just wrapping it up because they knew they had 2 weeks of nothing
to
go into. We've got another 4. The next episode is a existing one. And it's called Golden Death.
Golden Death.
Yeah. There you go. That will keep you waiting for next time.
Da-da!
Yeah. Ta-da.
Classic Doctor Who noise, that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, we should watch the next ones fairly soon before we forget everything.
Yes. We've been
some
doing them
point.
all in a week, in the same week.
We
We've
have,
done them very close together.
Yeah, we've done quite a lot recently, yeah.
Well, you have to. It's one story. So we've been doing we've been doing it all in 1 week, but in blocks. Manageable blocks. We had a burger in between as well.
Oh yeah, we had burgers this time.
Yeah. Food watch.
So, well, we'll leave it there then. Ready for next time?
Yeah.
Golden Death. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 2WatchWho. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week for the conclusion of the Daleks Master Plan. Bye.
Bye.
To watch who?
Eh? Doctor Who? What are you talking about?